Welcome to DK Studies. Hope you all are fit and fine. Today we are going to study Chapter 4, Animal Kingdom. In this chapter we are going to study about basis of classification and about classification of animals. So let us start. Basis of classification. Now there are few bases of classification like arrangement of cell, body symmetry, nature of coelom, pattern of digestive, circulatory or reproductive system. These features are used as the basis of animal classification, and some of them are discussed here in this chapter which we are going to study now. Before starting with the other topics, first we should know about the phylums of the animal kingdom. There are 11 phylums and they are Porifera, Cnidaria, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Acelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. So now let us go to levels of organization. Now there are 4 levels of organization: cellular level, tissue level, organ level and organ system level of organization. We all know that all members of Animalia are multicellular, but we also know that they do not exhibit the same pattern of organization of cell. Some animal may have the cellular level of organization, some may have the tissue level, some may have organ level, and some may have organ system level of organization. So let us start with cellular level of organization. When the cells are arranged as loose cell aggregate, it is said to have cellular level of organization. That means when the cells are loosely packed and are arranged as loose cell aggregate, it is called cellular level of organization. We can take the example of sponges. In sponges, the cells are loosely packed. Now tissue level of organization. When the cell performing the same function but the arrangement become more complex and they are arranged into tissue, it is called tissue level of organization. That means when the cells performing the same function but forming a tissue and arranged in a complex form, then it is called tissue level of organization. Now organ level. A still higher level of organization than the cellular and tissue level is organ level. It is exhibited by member of platyhelminths and other higher phyla, where tissue are grouped together to form organ. Each organ specialized for a particular function. So, the member of platyhelminths and other higher phyla exhibits the organ level of organization, where tissue are grouped together to form certain organs, and these organs are specialized for their particular function. Now organ system level of organization. In animals like annelids, arthropod, mollusca, echinoderms and chordates, organs have associated to form functional system. Each system concerned with a specific physiological function. This pattern is called organ system level of organization. That means in higher animal like the annelids, arthropod, mollusk, echinoderms and chordates, the organ has associated to form some functional system which have some specific physiological function, and this system is called organ system. An animal exhibiting this pattern of cell is known as organ system level of organization. Now organ system is different and have different patterns of complicities in according to different group of animal. It varies from animal to animal. For example, we can take the example of digestive system. Now there are two types of digestive system. One is incomplete and one is complete digestive system. In platyhelminths, they have only one single opening which serves as both mouth and anus, and it is called incomplete digestive system. And in higher animals, it have two openings which is known as a complete digestive system. We can take the example of circulatory system. There are two types of circulatory system. One is open type and one is closed type. In open type, the blood is pumped out of the heart and the cell and tissue are directly bathed in it. Means in open type, open circulatory system, the blood after pumped by the heart is directly released to the body. The cell get bathed in it. And in closed type, the blood is circulated through a series of vessels of various diameters like the arteries, veins and capillaries. The blood is transferred from the arteries, veins and capillaries. Now symmetry. Now an animal can be said as asymmetrical and symmetrical. A asymmetrical animal have no symmetry, and asymmetrical animal have three types of symmetry like the spherical symmetry, radial symmetry and bilateral symmetry. Let's come to asymmetrical animals. Example, sponges. When any plane that passes through the center does not divide the animal into two equal halves, it is called asymmetrical animal. Like the sponges, it is shapeless, so when any plane passes through the central axis, it doesn't divide the animal into two equal halves, so it is called asymmetrical animal. Now symmetrical animal. Spherically symmetrical animal. Example, volvox, which when planes passes through the central axis, it can divide the animal into equal halves. It is called spherical symmetrical animal. Now radially symmetrical animal. When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, it is called radially symmetrical. That means, example we can take as hydra and starfish. In hydra, when a plane passes through the central axis of the body, it divides the hydra into two identical halves, and it is called radial symmetry. Now coelentrates, ctenophores and echinoderms have this kind of body plane. So coelenterata, ctenophores and echinoderms have radial symmetry. Now animal like annelid, arthropod etc. have bilateral symmetry, where the body can be divided into identical left and right halves in only one plane. Means in bilaterally symmetrical, a single plane passing through the central axis can divide the body of the animal into two identical left and right halves. Now diploblastic and triploblastic organisms. Animal in which the cells are arranged into two embryonic level, an external ectoderm and an internal ectoderm, are called diploblastic animal. Example, coelentrates means in diploblastic they have only two embryonic layers. One is the external ectoderm layer and another one is the internal endoderm layer, and also they have an undifferentiated layer, that is mesoglea, which is present between the ectoderm and the endoderm. But in triploblastic, in which the developing embryo has a third germinal layer, means in triploblastic the animal developing embryo have a third germinal layer, that is the mesoderm. This mesoderm is present between the ectoderm and the endoderm, and the animal having mesoderm is called diploblastic animal. Now